Many thanks for joining us in the newsroom. I am Annetta Felix. The National Union of Road Transport Workers has asked the federal government to subsidize operation costs for motorists. Acting General Secretary of the Union, Kabiru Yao, who made the call, said the guidelines outlined by the government for the resumption of operations require operators to carry fewer passengers on each trip, thereby reducing their income. According to him, the drivers will now carry only 9 or 10 people instead of the usual 18 passengers. Yao stressed that if the federal government fails to subsidize operation costs, the union might be forced to increase the transport fares. The federal government on Monday lifted the ban on interstate travel, restricting it to after curfew hours. The Oyo State government has discharged 180 COVID-19 patients after 2 consecutive negative results. Governor Seyi Makinde, who announced the new recoveries and the number of COVID-19 cases managed and discharged in Oyo State, has now risen to 688. He, however, added that the state recorded 66 new cases to push the total confirmed cases so far to 1,372. Makinde also revealed that 1 coronavirus-associated death was recorded on Monday, bringing the total death toll in Oyo to 12. Elsewhere, the Kogi State government says it has partnered with the United States Center for Disease Control, CDC, to set up a reference molecular laboratory for COVID-19 tests. The State Commissioner for Health, Saka Haruna, said the laboratory will be used to attend to residents with symptoms related to COVID-19. He added that Kogi has established the Confluence Center for Infectious Diseases in Lokoja, the state capital, saying manpower has been deployed in the facilities. The laboratory was set up amid the state's insistence that it has no case of COVID-19, despite the NCDC announcing 3 cases in Kogi. This also comes 24 hours after Nasi Ajana, the state chief judge, died at the COVID-19 isolation center in Gwagwalada, Abuja. Nigeria currently has 25,133 confirmed COVID-19 cases, of which 9,402 have been discharged, with 573 deaths recorded so far. With over 10.4 million COVID-19 confirmed cases so far and more than 508,000 deaths, the World Health Organization, WHO, says the COVID-19 pandemic is not even close to being over. Director General of the health body, Tedros Ghebreyesus, speaking at a virtual press briefing in Geneva, said despite measures adopted to fight the pandemic, it has continued to worsen. He, however, urged world leaders not to lose hope, adding that the world must continue to work together to win the fight against coronavirus.
The critical question that all countries will face in the coming months is how to live with this virus. That is the new normal. Many countries have implemented unprecedented measures to suppress transmission and save lives. These measures have been successful in slowing the spread of the virus, but they have not completely stopped it. Some countries are now experiencing a resurgence of cases as they start to reopen their economies and societies. Most people remain susceptible. The virus still has a lot of room to move. We all want this to be over. We all want to get on with our lives. But the hard reality is, this is not even close to being over. Although many countries have made some progress, globally, the pandemic is actually speeding up. We're all in this together. And we're all in this for the long haul. We will need even greater stores of resilience, patience, humility, and generosity in the months ahead. We have already lost so much, but we cannot lose hope.
We'll be right back with more stories after this break. Do stay with us.
Hello, I'm Dr. Taufik Adeyemi, consultant orthopedic spine surgeon at National Orthopedic Hospital, Kogi, Lagos. I'm here on the platform of Scoliosis Focus Initiative program on World Scoliosis Day. Scoliosis is an abnormal sideway curvature of the spine with some rotation. This patient presents with uneven shoulders, a hump in the back, and even pelvis. Majority of these cases are painless. Up to 5% of our population have scoliosis, and majority of them are idiopathic, meaning that the cause is unknown. You need a thorough history examination with quality X-ray to make an assessment. Your doctor will advise you on the best treatment modality for your child. Scoliosis Focus Initiative is organizing a 2 weeks free online consultation to help you during this COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you.
Of State for Labor and Employment Festus Keyamo SAN has accused unnamed politicians of harassing him over the Public Works program meant to create 774,000 unskilled jobs. Speaking at the inauguration of state selection committees for the program in Abuja on Monday, Keyamo vowed not to succumb to any form of blackmail, pledging to drive the initiative to a successful conclusion. He also cautioned the state chairman against compromising the objective of the initiative, which he said was to give job opportunity to the people. Keyamo also warned that any chairman who failed to adhere to the guidelines on the operation of the scheme would be removed. The Federal High Court in Abuja has varied the bail conditions granted the former chairman of the Pension Reform Task Team, Abdulrashid Maina. On November 25, 2019, the court had admitted the former pension chairman to bail at 1 billion naira. Justice Okunabang, who gave the ruling, also ordered Maina to produce 2 sureties who must be serving senators. The judge said the 2 lawmakers must not be standing a criminal trial in any court in the country. He also ruled that the 2 sureties who must be prepared for an additional 500 million naira bond each must always be in court with the defendant at each adjourned date. Justice Ijoma Ojukwu of the Federal High Court in Abuja has dismissed a suit filed by former Kogi West Senator Dino Melaye challenging some provisions of the controversial Control of Infectious Diseases Bill 2020. At the Tuesday hearing, Justice Ojukwu held that the issue raised in the suit was not justiciable, as the bill could not be a subject of litigation until it is signed into law. On May 5, 2020, Melaye had filed the suit urging the court to delete sections of the bill which empowers the Director General of the NCDC to compel anyone to take medical examination or treatment and also collect the blood sample of such person in the case of a public health emergency. Nigerian troops under Operation Bullstroke have killed 4 suspected thief militias and injured others at Chejunkin village in Tarawa State. A statement by the coordinator of Defense Media Operations, Major General John Enenche, on Tuesday said the suspects were killed during a gunfight with the troops. He said the armed militia opened fire on sighting the troops, who responded with superior firepower, thereby neutralizing 4 of them, while an unconfirmed number escaped with gunshot wounds. In another development, Enenche said troops responded to a distress call from Zakibiam on the activities of a suspected notorious kidnap kingpin, Kobo Isho, also known as Lesser. Enenche said the suspect has been apprehended, is being interrogated, and would be handed over to the police for prosecution. Let's take a break here, and we'll be right back with business stories. Do stay with us. The Nigerian Ports Authority (NPA) has denied the allegations of a whistleblower who claimed that the authority has a hidden $1 billion account with Unity Bank PLC. Responding to a petition written to President Muhammadu Buhari by a man named John Opohe, the MPA said the allegations are untrue. The body also stressed that its account with Unity Bank as of December 2019 had only $1.05 million. MPA also revealed that the account has not been in operation since August 2010 due to a garnishee order placed following a court order. Iran says it has sentenced Ruhollah Zam, a former opposition figure, to death. Zam, who had lived in exile in France and had been implicated in anti-government protests, was sentenced after he was found guilty on 13 counts of charges of corruption. Corruption on earth is one of the most serious offenses under Iranian law. The sentence can, however, be appealed before the country's Supreme Court. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps announced the arrest of Zam in October last year, describing him as a counter-revolutionary who was directed by France's intelligence service. And in sports, Brooklyn Nets center Dine Jordan and teammate Spencer Dinwiddie might not play again this season after both players tested positive for the novel coronavirus on Monday. The NBA is planning to go ahead with its restart plans at Disney World in Orlando on July 30th, despite Florida battling a surge in COVID-19 cases in the past few days. Guard Dinwiddie told journalists that he had experienced symptoms, including fever and chest tightness. He said it remained unclear whether he would be able to play in Orlando, where 22 teams will be based for the remainder of the season. Players are due to travel to Florida for training camp in early July, and the teams will play games without fans in a bubble designed to shield players and team staff from the outside world. And that's it on the newsroom. Thank you for watching.